Good morning. I'm State Representative Patrick Windhorst. I serve the 117th District, which encompasses 10 counties in southeasternmost Illinois. I'm a current member of the House Judiciary Criminal Law Committee, Restorative Justice Committee, and the Ethics and Elections Committee, as well as serving as House Republican Floor Leader. I originally served in the position of State Representative of the 118th District when I was elected in 2018, my first term in the General Assembly. During that time, former House Speaker Mike Madigan was the driving force behind the entirety of Illinois government. Madigan served as the longest House Speaker ever. He served as the chairman of the Democratic Party of Illinois. He pulled all the strings. He even helped elect many of the members of the House of Representatives that are serving today. Some of the folks on the other side of the aisle serving in the General Assembly voted for former Speaker Madigan to serve as House Speaker on multiple occasions. With that history, and considering what we now know about former Speaker Madigan's record of criminal behavior, I would hope my colleagues on the other side of the aisle would take action on ethics reform. This is committee deadline week, and we haven't seen any meaningful ethics reform move through the General Assembly this week. We've introduced multiple bills on the Republican side. We've proposed multiple packages of ethics reforms. And while we've waited for action on the other side, we've been disappointed time after time. When Democratic politicians were arrested, indicted, charged, convicted, and incarcerated, we've waited for action. We've been disappointed time after time. While House Republicans continue to work, we are waiting for the House Democrats to take action and to take this issue seriously. We've been busy filing bills, sponsoring comprehensive pieces of legislation to stamp out Illinois' corruption problem and restore our reputation. Our legislative efforts aim to turn our state from a corruption embarrassment into something our citizens can be proud of. One bill I've introduced is House Bill 2413. This would prohibit legislators and constitutional officers from lobbying at the local level. Doesn't that make sense? No state legislator should be lobbying local officials that they may represent. Let's remove those conflicts of interest. House Republicans have also filed the following bills, all of which my colleagues joining me today are co-sponsoring. We have House Bill 1382, which was sponsored by Leader Spain, which puts teeth into the Legislative Inspector General's office to issue subpoenas without first seeking approval from the people that office may be investigating. And it requires that summary reports from the LIG and responses from the ultimate jurisdictional authority be made public within 60 days of receipt. House Bill 1384 addresses local government lobbying reform. House Bill 1385 closes a loophole that exists in our current law involving the revolving door policy that currently allows a legislator to be a member of this body one day and a lobbyist the next. House Bill 3115 establishes a 3-year revolving door lobbying ban for members of the General Assembly. House Bill 3121 expands the definition of representation case and calls for recusal reform when legislators are dealing with issues in state government. House Bill 1554, which is a priority of House Republican leader Tony McCombie, bans public officials from using campaign funds for their legal defense. And House Bill 2813 requires a 72-hour budget review period before a vote on the budget. This would give not only lawmakers, but the public ample time to review how Illinois government is spending taxpayer dollars. Unfortunately, Illinois is known as a state for public corruption. It is a clear problem, and it's a problem that we must fix, not by half measures, but by passing some of the strongest ethics reforms in the country. I will now turn the press conference over to my friend and colleague and fellow Southern Illinois Representative David Freese.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm State Representative David Freese, and I represent the 115th District in Southern Illinois. As Representative Windhorst stressed, no one can honestly deny Illinois' infamous history of public corruption, or that there's much more we must do to restore the public's faith in their state government. As we stand here today, it's our final day to pass House bills out of committee. And as we stand here, how many of our ethic bills have been made it out of committee to be considered on the House floor? Zero, none. With indictment after indictment, conviction after conviction, not a single ethics reform proposal we've introduced will even be debated in this chamber this spring. Sadly, that's not a big surprise in Illinois. The current Democrat leadership in the House has blocked all but a small handful of all Republican-sponsored bills. With approximately 500 House bills making it out of committee this spring, almost 90% have been Democrat-sponsored. Only about 10% have been ideas put forward by those on our side, on this side of the aisle. We've introduced the strong reforms we need to turn around our state's reputation for corruption. In fact, over the past several years, we've introduced more than 20 strong ethic reform proposals. None has received a fair hearing. The problem with the Democrats' inaction on ethics reform is so bad since Speaker Madigan's exit that it's actually caused the Inspector General at the time, Carol Pope, to resign in protest, calling the office a paper tiger. This spring, we have sponsored legislation to put teeth into the Legislative Inspector General's office, close lobbying loopholes that invite corruption, and restore public transparency to our state budget process, among others. How many more indictments and convictions will it take for those on the other side of the aisle to stop playing partisan games and work with us to actually solve these problems? Now I'd like to turn it over to Representative Dave Severin.
Good morning. I'm State Representative Dave Severin. I represent the good folks of the 116th District in South Central and Southeastern Illinois. I'm proud to stand beside my friends Representative David Freese and House Republican Floor Leader Patrick Windhorst, fellow Southern Illinois Republicans who believe in the need for ethics reform. Representative Windhorst and I were both here when Mike Madigan was still in control of this place. A lot has changed since then. We had COVID. We've seen and had arrests of politicians. We've had indictments, guilty pleas, and even guilty verdicts. Some things haven't changed. We've had the same House rules, the same hand-picked politicians running the place, and the same miserable results. The people of Illinois have been subject to public corruption for far too long. I'm proud of the work for my fellow Southern Illinois House Republicans have done to try to clean up this mess. That's where we're here today to talk about these items. One, we oppose legislator lobbyists. We think the revolving door should be closed. We have co-sponsored dozens of bills that would help stamp out corruption in our government. I've been here for a while, and I keep, and you've heard this word before, waiting for my colleagues on the other side of the aisle to take action. We're here waiting for the Democrats to take action on our anti-corruption bills. We are waiting for ethics reform. So if indeed a new day in Illinois, let's make it one. Here are my proposals. No more legislators as lobbyists. Close the revolving door. And this is very important. End the use of campaign money to pay for public corruption defense. Regular people don't have a campaign fund to pay lawyers to get them out of trouble. Politicians should be banned from raising money from special interest groups to pay for their criminal defense and public corruption trials. Let me close with this. Democrats need to stop making corrupt politicians a protected class in Illinois. They've even proposed these crazy laws: legalize prostitution, homeschool regulations that threaten homeschool families, the per-mile driving tax, unionizing cannabis dispensary workers, making the obese a protected class on par with protected religious, gender, and ethnic classes, California-style emission regulations for our cars. And let's not forget yesterday, the news reported as many as 400 state employees have been busted for stealing from the Paycheck Protection Program, better known as PPP. Our state employees were stealing COVID money right out from underneath the nose of this government. We need to clean up our state government, or people are going to leave the state for a less corrupt, more affordable place to live, start businesses, and raise their family.